In this video, I'm going to be highlighting the military power of these two legendary nations of Iran and Iraq. How's it going, guys? My name is Leroy Kenton, and welcome to another episode of FTD Facts. And in particular, this is another Which is Better episode. And in these episodes, we compared two sides, in this case, the military power of Iran and Iraq, and then you guys decide which is better. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if this is your first time here on FTD Facts, you want to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you can continue learning with us every single day on this channel. Now let's get into the military power. First off, I want to start with Iraq. So Iraq's military is ranked 59th in the world in terms of military power. The Iraqi armed forces consists of the Iraqi Army, the Iraqi Air Force, and the Iraqi Navy with headquarters in Baghdad. Now over the years, they have seen a lot of action. I mean, the armed forces first saw combat in the Anglo-Iraqi War of 1941. They fought against Israel in 1948, and that was the Arab-Israeli War. Then in 1967, they had the Six-Day War, and then in 1973, they had the Yom Kippur War. But now Iraq really has to deal with their internal communication issues if they really want to expand their military to what it could be. So we saw what Iraq's military is capable of. They have a lot of experience when it comes to wartime, but now I want to get into some specifics about the stats of their military. The available manpower in Iraq is 16 million people. When you look at the active personnel, that's 168,000 people. The people that they have in reserve are about 150,000 people. Now I want to introduce Iran. So Iran ranks higher on the military power scale at number 21. The armed forces of Iran include the Army, the Revolutionary Guard Corps, and the Law Enforcement Force. Now, despite lacking the modern, sophisticated military equipment that other nations around it possess, Iran's military has been described as the Middle East's most powerful military force, not including Israel, and this was by a retired U.S. general named John Abizadeh. The manpower in Iran totals at 47 million people. Their active personnel is way up to 534,000, and their people in reserve are 400,000. Now, in terms of the army strength of Iraq, Iraq has 301 combat tanks. They have 5,173 armored fighting vehicles. For rocket projectors, they have 59. They have 136 towed artillery, and self-propelled artillery total at 103. Now, comparing Iran's army strength now, they have 1,616 combat tanks. Their armored fighting vehicles total at 1,315. Their rocket projectors number in at 1,474. And they have 2,078 towed artillery and 320 self-propelled artillery. Alright, now so we move on into the air. Let's first look at Iraq's air power. So their fighter aircrafts total at 13. They have 15 attack aircrafts, 93 transport aircrafts, and trainer aircrafts total at 61. The total helicopters in Iraq's possession is 161, and they have 32 attack helicopters. Now when we look at Iran's air power, they have 137 fighter aircrafts. The attack aircrafts also number at 137. Their transport aircrafts are 203, and they have a total of 126 helicopters and 12 attack helicopters, and their trainer aircrafts number at 79. Looking at the strength of both of their navies now, I want to start with Iraq. So Iraq's total naval assets number at 60. Their patrol crafts total at 23. They have 0 aircraft carriers and 0 frigates as well. And yeah, also 0 destroyers. When we look at Iran's navy now, the total naval assets for Iran are at 398. They have 230 patrol crafts. They have 5 frigates, 3 corvettes. They have 33 submarines in their possession, as well as 10 mine warfare vessels, but they do not have any aircraft carriers and no destroyers as well. Now, Iraq funds their whole military operations with a defense budget of $6.06 billion US. Iraq had one of the largest and strongest militaries in the world in 1990, before the Persian Gulf War of 1991. Iraq had a growing domestic military weapons industry that produced guns, ballistic missiles. They had advanced naval mines. They had the Lion of Babylon tank. But in the more recent days now, they do have a lot more work to really continue to build up their military. Now, Iran's defense budget is a little bit higher. Iran has 6.3 billion US dollars at their disposal for their defense budget. Now, the Islamic Revolutionary Guards were put in charge of creating what is today known as the Iranian military industry. Under them, Iran's military industry has really expanded. And with the Ministry of Defense pouring a lot of investment into the missile industry, Iran soon accumulated a large number of missiles. Iran is also producing its own submarines. So that was your brief snapshot of these two powerhouse nations in the Middle East. And if you guys want to know more about these countries, you definitely have to check out our video that we did on Iran and Iraq, which country is better. That we give like a whole overview of the countries in general, so not just military. I'll have the link to that at the end of this episode. You can also follow me on social media. The links to those are down below in the video description as well. And you guys have been awesome. I'll see you real soon in another episode. And if you guys want to know more about Iran and Iraq, here's that video I was just talking about. I highly recommend that if you haven't seen it, as well as our other Which Is Better episodes. Thank you guys for being awesome, and I'll see you real soon.